Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Countryside BP Studios.
Oh, man, that sounds good.
Sounds really good, doesn't it?
Man.
Where today we have the fall preview show for all things Gary County Athletics here on the Golden Lion Sports Network. Jeff Jacobs, Caleb Gresham, Scott Boland. We're here to interview football. We're going to have boys and girls soccer. Actually, not boys soccer because of just a little bit of a mix-up, but volleyball and band.
Dr. Vance is going to be in the house.
Before we go any farther, Coach, let's talk a little bit about our Countryside BP studio. Our main man, Rocky Patel, down at Countryside BP Studio next to Camp Dick Robinson Elementary, just off where 27 and 34 come together there. Stop in and see Rocky.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great guy. And let me tell you a little something about Rocky. Phenomenal family, great folks. He reached out to us because he wanted to support the athletes and the student athletes and the students of Gary County. And that's what we say about all of our folks is we cannot ask for better sponsors.
Yeah,
right?
we're really excited about having Countryside BP on. We'll be there tomorrow
We will.
live, 7:30
Early in the morning.
Get up, get your coffee,
Drink
us.
your coffee with
yeah.
us. You can come in. They got sausage. They got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, man, you buying breakfast?
Well, maybe. I like it. But, man, BP, Countryside BP Studios, and so we're excited about that. But, Coach, today we're going to bring on the football team here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, folks, we say this all the time. We're blessed to have top-notch coaches. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be so blown away about the top-notch student-athletes that you're going to meet today.
Yeah.
Just really excited. I mean, we've had a couple months off. We've had our batteries recharged, and, man, we are ready to go with Golden Line Sports Network here this fall.
100%. And I'm tired. I've been putting up these bricks behind us.
Oh, yeah. You're a bricklayer.
Yep. And it's been tough. Yep. So I finally got them up. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've been putting it up there.
I didn't see you at 11 o'clock putting up those bricks.
So I've been putting up all these bricks.
Facts are optional.
Facts are optional. Make it look good. Look at our little sign that's up there, BP Countryside Studio. It looks awesome. But all jokes aside, a lot of sports have already started up.
Yes.
Football has their first game this week in Lincoln County as they play Greene County. Soccer's already kicked off, boys and girls. Volleyball's already
great
kicked
starts.
off.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that as we go. We've got boys and girls golf teams are going on, cross country.
Busy times.
Cheer. So everything is a go. And so it always seems like that middle to end of July when all this stuff starts up. School's here.
School is here starting this week.
We start transition day
Christmas
on Tuesday.
morning.
Christmas morning. I can't wait. Christmas morning. Kindergarten, 6th grade, and 9th grade will be coming in on Tuesday. Everybody else will be coming in on Wednesday. So we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, folks, we're going to have head coach Spencer Crutchfield is going to be here to talk to us as he's got two of his student athletes with us, as well as Caleb Centers and Hayden Element will be here. And so we'll talk to all of those folks here in the Countryside BP studio. This is Golden Lion Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Gary County Athletics is proudly sponsored by the Bob Allen Motor Mall, Central Kentucky Federal Savings Bank, the Urban Group Realtors and Auctioneers, the Hunt Insurance Agency, First Southern National Bank, Danville Office Equipment, Garrett County Health Department, Sutton Pharmacy, Farmers National Bank, Marksberry Farm, DocuBit, and Whitaker Bank.
And welcome back, folks, as it is time for all things Gary County sports today on Golden Lion Sports Network here from the Countryside BP studio, as we are going to bring in head coach Spencer Crutchfield. Before we get to him, go ahead and tell us some things on Facebook,
we
folks.
got some check-ins.
We
Kathy
got some
Denham,
check-ins.
Appreciate you watching, Kathy. Kathy's one of our loyal followers. Elijah Jones.
He was not first.
He was number 2.
Elijah, man.
Number 2 today.
You've been resting all summer, man. You got to be number 1.
And then,
Sean
Secorn saying, "Go GC."
And the All-Star India Harvey.
India Harvey.
As she's clicked in. Folks, make sure that you share this. We want to go ahead. We want everybody to get the opportunity to see these great things. So make sure that you share this out with folks so they get the opportunity to watch about these student athletes. So without going any further, head coach Spencer Crutchfield.
The man.
Nobody makes me feel any older than interviewing head coach Spencer Crutchfield. As as I used to coach him a long time ago. But we won't talk about that. Coach, thanks for joining us, my man. We appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about, everybody kind of knows you now. We don't have to do the introduction, but tell us how the summer program went and preseason and all the good stuff going on.
It went really well. I mean, we had a productive off season as far as lifting weights. You'll be able to see that on the field. A lot of guys put on weight, put a lot of strength on.
I put on some weight.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, not good weight. Yeah,
we're not working out.
Yeah.
We're not working out.
Yeah. So no, I think we had a productive off season as far as weights, and Coach Hester, heads that up for us in the off season, and administration at the high school allows us to have those 3 classes, so that pays dividends. So. And then this summer we had a lot of guys being committed, showing up every day in June, 3 days a week, and making sure we're getting in shape and hit the ground running. So we'll see Friday where we're at.
So, Coach, one of the things we're so excited about the construction that's going on at Garrett County High School for future athletics. However, the transition it does make it difficult. So, kind of talk a little bit about kind of what you and your staff has had to do. For folks that don't know, we've had to abandon the field house at the high school, and we've moved into. We got to come up with a different name than the strike zone because the Garrett County Schools owns that now.
Yeah.
So we're going to call it the Garrett County Schools Sports Complex.
Absolutely.
How about that?
That works.
But we've kind of moved our locker room. We've moved our weight room. Kind of talk a little bit about how that transition occurred and kind of some of the challenges that went along the way.
Well, I mean, just moving out of your home base is difficult just because it's changed. But to be honest with you, we have more room in the weight room over there. The space is great over there. So just the logistics of getting everything moved over there, and got to give a lot of credit to the maintenance crew here at the school for moving that, and got to give my dad shout out too for making sure all that happened and everything got transitioned.
Movie star.
He's talk about his grass.
Yeah,
fine, thick, and rich.
He gets really upset if you talk about his grass. So what's your numbers looking like, Coach?
We have a 60 on the roster right now.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So definitely a big jump in. I was talking to everybody that this is the biggest number in Garrett County football that I can remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all been around for a while.
Yeah.
60 is huge. We got 22 freshmen on the roster.
Wow.
So
that's great.
And a lot of those guys, it's their first year, but you can no bad habits, so that's a positive.
That's right.
But the hardest transition that I think my coaching staff has had going to the sports complex is the snakes. Coach Hester, he's a nervous wreck every time we get in there. So that's one of the challenges we have. With the snakes.
I've visited. I visit about once every 2-3 weeks, and he's never doesn't just sit still.
No.
So is that the reason why he's always on the move, Coach?
Him and Kevin both. I mean, they never stop. But yeah, I think that's what it is. He's a little anxious.
Keeps his head on the
swivel.
swivel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So coaching staff this year, you talked about your brother. You've talked about Coach Hester. Who do you got coming back with you, or anybody new?
We got added a guy named Coach Turner.
Okay.
He's a retired coach. He was a head coach at Morgan County High School for 8 years.
Fantastic.
Wow, that's nice.
He's coming in and teach English, and he's actually a retired teacher as well. So he's helping out when he can.
We like that on both angles.
Absolutely. David Williams is back with me. Yeah. Coach Centers is back with me. John Teeter's back with me as well. So we've got pieces as well as I can't forget Shelby Goody.
Yeah,
if I forget Shelby,
you can't,
I'll be in trouble for sure. So
he wouldn't like that. But before we start talking a little bit more about the football team, Coach, yesterday we got an opportunity to watch middle school play, albeit just a half because of weather-related stuff. However, man, I love the structure and the numbers and the organization of our 5th all the way through 8th grade teams. Talk a little bit about that and how that plays into your numbers.
Well, I mean, that's the whole goal of, we want to build a program. We just don't want to build a high school team. And, getting even the youth involved, and we're trying to get our hands on that as well. Got to give Coach Cook and Donley Barnes a lot of credit. They're both really organized people.
Dedicated.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's huge in middle school. You can get people who, sometimes it can be daddy ball. It can be those kind of things.
No
I want
doubt.
my son to do this, and that's not what we have here. And we're building in the right direction. So.
No doubt. I 100% agree with that. I just got the opportunity to watch them and practice some the other day because I was at cheerleading practice with my daughter. But just watching them, we're cheer dads. Yep. But just watching them, man, they're very organized, very intense. They're doing lots of coaching, and that's fantastic stuff as you go along. So let's talk a little bit about Garrett County High School football. So we saw a little bit about, the Spencer Crutchfield team last year, but, it was like you said, you hadn't went through a full off season of weightlifting. So what are we going to see this year? Tell us a little bit about your pieces and what you're looking forward to.
Well, I mean, I think it's what we want on the field is every time you step on the field, we're going to play the hardest. We're going to be the most prepared. We're going to try not to beat ourselves. And, I think we still got to build that leadership piece. And we got some senior guys. And I challenge these guys that are coming on here in a minute to take ownership of this is your team. I'm just trying to guide you in the right direction. And, I feel like we're building that day in and day out. Still got some ways to go, but we're excited. We're excited. We got a few people banged and beat up, but next man up. I mean, we dealt with that all last year, so they should have experience with that. So we're going to be fine. We're going to grow. We got some guys up front who are young that are going to gain a lot of experience in the first couple games in these scrimmages, and we're going to challenge them. We're going to coach them hard. We're going to love on them, but we're not going to give them a scapegoat.
That's right. And in football, it is the next man up. I mean, it's a physical game. Injuries are going to occur and some things like that. So, what are some things that you were able and the staff to take away from these two scrimmages? Scrimmaged Dare County, Coach Steve Stonebreaker, and then this past Friday scrimmage Russell County. So maybe some takeaways from those scrimmages as we get ready for our opening game Friday night against Greene County.
The number one thing, just week 1 to week 2, and if you watch the games, I think the effort and the energy that we brought week 2 compared to game 1. I think we were still kind of in practice mode, and I told these guys, that's on me. I didn't have you prepared. I didn't have you ready to go, but we amped up the intensity in practice and got after them a little bit, and I think that showed on Friday night. They were ready to go. We are still a ways away from where we need to be, but you could see the growth as far as execution up front, sustaining blocks, getting more hats to the football when we at the point of attack, and we're building in the right direction. Rome wasn't built in a day, and so we got a lot of inexperienced guys, or along with a lot of experienced guys. So we're excited in the direction we're going.
So when you talk a little bit about some of your individual pieces, I know we like talking about what I call affectionately thunder and lightning. Yeah. When you had Cam Peak and Malachi in the backfield, but you got Justin Parsons, I assume, is back in some different places. You got Caleb Centers, Hayden Edelman. I mean, so you've got some pieces to put in there to mix in with some inexperience.
Yeah, I mean that's key. We're experienced in the skill positions where we're a little bit more inexperienced in the up front. Right. The good and bad part about it is you got guys who've been through the fire, but ball games are won up front, won and lost up front on both sides of the ball. So those guys they're going to be thrown into the fire. And that's the thing about it. You have athletes around the O-line and D-line that can make plays. You just have to do your job and execute. Yep. And so that's what we're preaching. You don't have to make the extraordinary block. Just hold your block, sustain your block, and I think we did a better job.
Just do your job.
So we're going to get Coach out of here. We're going to play a contest today, Coach.
I like it.
All right. So everybody that we have interviewed, we're having a contest today. So there's a lot of debate on are people Swifties? Are they believers, right? Yeah. So they like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. Yeah. So I've got the top 10 songs from each one of the artists. I'm just going to name the song, Coach, and you tell me, is it Taylor Swift?
He's going to get this. I'm going to tell you
okay. I'm going to give him an easy one.
My wife, she may be mad at me if I don't get the Taylor Swift right.
So here it goes. I knew you were in trouble. Is that Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber?
Man, see, I didn't know that one.
I knew you were trouble.
I'm going to have to go with Taylor Swift.
It's a Swiftie.
There you go. Good job. Yeah. Great job.
Appreciate you,
Coach.
Yes,
thanks, man. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate you,
As you're getting ready to come in, get one of your guys to come in. We're going to catch up on a few.
Yeah, we got a few shout-outs here. Dwayne Stipe listening, saying good afternoon, Dr. Gresham, and Cuz.
Yeah, Cuz.
Yeah,
go Dwayne. Go way back in the Stipe family.
Dwayne, man. I love Dwayne. Love his family. Shantae Dunn checking in, saying my favorite time of the year.
I can't wait to watch her son. I tell you, I saw him the other day.
Tough as nails.
He's tough as nails. Inside, just like a linebacker, he gets to the ball as fast as anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
And you mentioned Lightning a while ago. So
West
Peak
West
is checked
Peak
in
is
saying,
there.
let's go GC.
Yeah, man, it's going to be fun times when you see that. Speaking of fun times, nothing yells fun times like an Element.
Oh, yeah.
So when an Element walks in here, you know the party's about to get started. What's up, Hayden Dillon? How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Senior Element number 7.
Yes,
Number
sir.
7 in your on the program. Number 1 in your hearts,
Oh,
without a doubt. Hayden, tell us a little bit. I mean, we obviously all know you. We've known you since you were a baby, but there may be some folks out there that may not. There may be some people in Rome, Georgia, watching this before too long, wanting to know. But tell us a little bit about just your background and some of the things you like and some interest that you have.
Yeah, my dad's John Elliman.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
pretty popular. A lot of
I've
people
seen
know.
him. I've seen him.
Yeah, I play baseball, football. I got a little brother, a little sister. We all play sports, so we're pretty busy. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mom's in the school system.
Mom is a teacher, yes.
Teacher at the middle school. Does a phenomenal job.
So, Hayden, what does wearing that Garrett County jersey mean to you and your family?
Oh, it means a lot. You know, everybody in my family's played sports, so just continuing that legacy is really cool, and it's fun to look at all the photos of Dad and stuff and see how similar we look and all that.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Well, I will tell you. So there was some time I talked to your mom not too long ago, and I saw you doing something. I was like, man, that's a double take. If you looks like John E. just standing over there. I got to commend you. So the other night there was a middle school basketball game, and your grandparents sitting up in the stands, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I've
that's
seen
awesome.
them at more Garrett County sporting events than probably anybody.
They're at all of them.
That in my lifetime.
And I tell you, Coach, not only does Hayden get it done on the field, check this out: 4.164 GPA.
I didn't know you could do that. Wow.
Yeah. Now I think John E had a similar one, but,
He did.
but we added 2 or 3 years to
So
that. Right?
we're not going to ask you who you got that from, but obviously academics is something that's super important to you.
Oh, yeah. Me and my mom really pushes me with my schoolwork, you know, and I thank her a lot for that. But, yeah, it's definitely important.
So when football is over or this year, what's coming next year for Hayden Element?
I don't know. We're going to have to see, man. We're going to have to see. I've looked into the sports medicine field doing stuff like that, and I just hope my grades can get me to a good college and
No doubt.
somewhere I really want to be.
So do you think athletics will be pursued next year?
Definitely.
Good for you, man.
So, Coach asks us a lot when we talk about multi-sport stars. So, would you rather game on the line, go, a pass play is called for you to make the big catch, make a big hit to win the game on defense, or you're at the plate at the bottom of the 7th with a chance to win the game? Which one of those 3 scenarios would you like the most?
Man, I'd probably have to go with the big catch.
Oh,
It's not like
yeah.
scoring a touchdown.
Friday Night
yeah.
Lights, right?
It's
So
crazy.
before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about baseball. Man, what a great run!
Oh,
You
yeah.
had a great run.
Special.
Oh, yeah.
I know we talked a little bit about it, and that's fantastic. How does that kind of success that you have bleed over into football and what you're trying to do on Friday night?
It just motivates, man. Just to be able to feel the atmosphere and all the stuff that went on, the community getting behind us, it was just really cool, and it just makes you want to do it again.
Well, I'll tell you. So the 2 scrimmages that you've had, the middle school game yesterday, the fan support.
Oh, my goodness.
It's
It was
unbelievable.
packed. It was
It's crazy.
packed. Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't wait. I know this Friday night we're on the road at Lincoln County, but the next Friday night we're at home in our bowl game.
Big bowl game.
And I'm telling you, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Does the players have a nickname for you, Hayden?
Oh, goodness, nickname.
That you can say. Be careful.
that-
I get John E. quite a bit,
John E.
honestly. Yeah.
Well, we last year we called you the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Just
That's
because
right.
just how well-rounded of a game that you have and how tough that you play. So I think we might stick to that if you're okay with
I
that.
like it. I
Yeah,
like
the
it.
and that was one of my favorite wrestlers. Is the
Definitely.
Ultimate, yeah, is
He
the
don't even
Ultimate.
remember.
So we're going to
Ask
find
him a
out,
song.
is Hayden a Swiftie or a believer?
He's
All
a
right,
he's
what
a
do you think?
Bieber guy. I can
All
just
right.
look at his haircut. He's a Bieber guy.
All right, so Out of Woods. Is that a Taylor Swift song or a Justin Bieber song?
Out of Woods.
Yep.
He doesn't look confident.
Yeah.
I'm not confident. I'm going to go with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. That's a Swiftie.
Hey, so, hey, listen, we see what's going to be played on some wins on Friday night. Thanks, brother. Appreciate
job,
you.
baby.
We'll let you go ahead and switch on here.
Got a few more shout-outs
Let's
here.
do it.
So Melinda Starks-Adams
Yeah,
has
man.
checked in saying, let's go
Absolutely.
GC. And our man, Brad Sizemore, has checked in saying
Brad
3 legends in the house.
Sizemore. Look, I tell you what, he's talking about Spencer.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Spencer, Caleb, and Hayden,
That's
the 3
exactly
the 3
right.
legends.
That's
right?
exactly right. But Brad Sizemore, head coach down at Bell County,
man.
he was always enjoyed going down. We played football because he'd bring us hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate, yeah.
He'd bring us hot chocolate. Mr. Centers, great to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in here. We appreciate you coming back. This is year 2
Yes, sir.
at Garrett County. So it's year 2 for you playing, but it's definitely not year 2 for you at Garrett County because you grew up on Die House Stadium grass. What's it like coming back, where Dad was stomping up and down the sidelines and throwing his hat down and all this stuff? What's it like coming back and now being on the field?
I guess the only word is nostalgic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Coming here every game as a little kid, watching all the teams grow, all the teams play.
Yeah.
It's really fun and excited to be back.
So what is it like playing with your dad on the sideline?
I always feel like I have somebody breathing over my neck.
You mean like in an encouraging way?
Yeah.
So when you were a young kid and you're running up and down the sideline, who are some of the players that you remember that you would look back and say, man, I like how they play?
Let's see. I think it's Markel.
Markel Hayes.
Yeah, Markel Hayes.
He can fly now.
Yeah, I loved him.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many players I can't really remember their names.
Those are really cool,
head.
because you get to see those folks, and kind of look up and see. So talking about your game, so what do you kind of model your game after when you're out there? What are you trying to do as far as the impression you're making?
I'm a run blocker by heart. I like to drive up the field. Jason Kelsey is one of my favorite players to watch. I watch his film all the time, and it's what I want to model my game after.
So do you prefer offense or defense?
Offense.
So why do you like offensive line versus defensive line? Because I'll be honest with you, in high school I liked offensive line as well.
I feel like I'm scoring. I don't really, as a lineman, I don't get the accolades of scoring touchdowns or anything. But I feel like my part is I'm contributing a lot to the.
Well, one of the things I always said about being a lineman, it's like when the ball's snapped, you're able to get into a fight without getting in trouble, right?
Legally.
And then you do it until the whistle blows, right? And then you get back in the huddle and do it again. So that's what I loved about linemen is you get it's physical every single snap. And on offense, you're bringing it to the defense, right? Instead of being reactionary, you're actually being the one who's able to initiate that contact.
Yeah.
So do you like kind of that physical part of the game?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I drew up some plays for you to score and handed on to Coach Crutchfield.
Well, he
hadn't
talked
put them
about those
yet.
in the promo about the touchdown plays.
But he's
touchdown
waiting.
plays.
He's waiting for the big time. Okay, he's waiting for the big time. Caleb, tell us some things about you off the field. What are some things you like to do, and maybe some dreams, aspirations you got down the road?
I play football and baseball. I umpire baseball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during the summer.
Good for you.
And some travel tournaments and stuff. I like to go fish every once in a while. It's kind of relaxing.
So you're a pond fisherman, lake fisherman. What are you trying to do here?
Wherever there's fish.
Whatever's biting.
Well, I like to eat fish.
I like to eat fish,
so we get along
too.
with Caleb really well, right?
I like to eat fish, too. So you guys are getting ready to head out here in a little bit and go to I guess it's a banquet for the bowl game coming up Friday night. So tell us about how excited you are to get going Friday night and, put the pads on for real.
I'm ready for it to count. Senior year, something big's going to happen. Something big's going to happen this year.
Hey, 3.6 GPA.
I just
now,
don't understand.
You think his dad had a higher
stuff.
GPA than that? What do you think?
You don't think so? I wasn't going to answer.
All right, so we got to ask him to play the contest here, Coach.
Let's see what he's got.
So you got Caleb. Is this a Taylor Swift song or Justin Bieber song? Okay, so Love Yourself.
I have no clue.
Bieber.
That's a believer.
My man, I tell you what, football team, dude.
Man, they're 3 for 3.
Clean sweep. Clean sweep. Caleb, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Best of luck. Y'all have fun at the banquet. We look forward to seeing you all this week, and we'll be touching base before we get there. Before we break and get volleyball coming in here, Coach, we got a few more check-ins.
We do. We got a few check-ins. Our main man, McKinley
Fred Daly.
Fred Daly has kind of checked in here
Fred
saying,
Daly
let's go
and the
GC.
Frog. Yes, sir.
And then Jeff Singleton has checked in saying, this looks like an ESPN
I
crew
tell you
here.
what, listen, you can't listen. Jeff's my guy. He's old Lincoln County guy. He's
Great
one
guy.
of the best basketball officials, volleyball officials that you'll ever come across. Those two dudes you just mentioned there, absolutely the best.
Class acts.
So we're going to move right into volleyball. Coach, great to see you. Great to see you. Now, Coach, there still may be some that may not be familiar with you. They may have just picked up and saw what is the Worldwide Sports and Golden Line Sports Network. So tell us a little bit about who you are, some of your background, and what's got you into coaching volleyball.
Well, I have been coaching this will be my 9th year. I've been here at Garrett for 4 years, and I love helping kids, and I love seeing the progress from they don't know what volleyball is to now they can actually compete and play.
No doubt.
Well, and Coach, one of the things that I really appreciate your perspective. I say this all the time, but, Scott and I are both spent some time as being athletic directors and high school administrators. The investment that you make in not just the high school program, right? You know, we want to build a program that's sustainable, that has success year in and year out. You're heavily involved at the middle school level,
Yes.
right? Heavily involved with travel,
Yes.
So you're coaching 12 months a year almost.
Pretty much, yeah. All the time.
So what does that mean for, you know, why would you want to invest that much time in doing all of that?
Well, volleyball is a whole lot more fun when it's competitive.
Sure.
When the rallies can go a lot longer and you can actually play the skills. You know, it's not a whole lot of fun when it's just the ball goes over the net and ball's dead now.
Right.
And so as we get athletes who can start earlier, can learn the skills at a much younger age, by the time they hit high school, they can actually compete.
Right.
And volleyball in our area is still really new. Middle school programs here, maybe 10 years at most. Whereas like Louisville, Lexington, they've had them for elementary school kids for like the last 20, 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like they've had them forever. And so just the fact that we can start to compete with those bigger teams.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about your team now. So this year, if somebody's not had the opportunity to see you yet, what are they going to see when they come in the gymnasium and watch one of your Garrett County teams play?
This is the year to watch. We have spent the last several years rebuilding because I was coach 4 in 4 years. And so we've spent the last few years rebuilding. And so they've really taken the program and we're one to watch this year.
Well,
So
go ahead.
I tell you what, you've been working hard in the summer.
Yeah.
You know, we brought our staff in 6 days prior to school doing some professional development. There was one day, I think, as we were starting, you all were in the gym, and then we broke for lunch, and you were still in the gym.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody going, "My goodness, you know, volleyball is really working hard out there." So, pretty pleased with the work that's been done this summer, kind of leading into the season.
Yes, we have talked a lot from last year to this year about them coming and being attentive and being engaged, and they've done a whole lot better. And I think the start from, like, when we had the scrimmages last week, that they are actually seeing that benefit.
Right.
Okay, I've been here now, and now we can compete with the scrimmages,
Right.
and it's a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, and I tell you, thanks for a good man, Brandon McGlone at the Garrett Central Record. So
Absolutely.
that was my show prep for today, reading his articles about the preview. So, you know, and what Brandon pointed out about volleyball, the last couple of years, you've been able to have some big wins, been able to kind of win district games each one of those years. And now this year, what our really goal is to have sustained, win multiple games, and win, you know, kind of advance in a multiple way, right, Coach?
Right, absolutely. Our goal is that district championship at the end of the season.
So tell us a little bit about these 2 seniors you brought with you today, Coach. I know fresh seniors, as we haven't even started school yet. Tell us a little bit about your seniors that you brought in here at the Countryside BP Studios.
Okay, well, first I've got Chloe Middleton. I've had Chloe since she was a freshman, but she's been playing a lot longer than freshman year. She plays outside or libero for us, which is defensive specialist. This year she's trying a new position at outside, getting a lot of kills. She is a leader. She's actually our team captain.
Great.
And she brings a lot of energy and a lot of calmness to the court.
Do you think she gets that from her mom or dad?
The calmness?
Yeah.
Now, she's competitive. Don't get me wrong. She's competitive.
I watched her mom play basketball, and there wasn't any calm about
We're
her
going to
when she
ask her
played
here in a
basketball.
She's very competitive.
Oh,
but,
yeah, no
like,
doubt.
she doesn't get emotional as far as,
right.
like, that negative decline.
Right.
Which is huge in volleyball. Volleyball is a complete mental sport. And then with Skylar Mullins, Skylar's been with us for going into year 3. She's an outside, and she just dominates as an outside hitter.
Oh, yeah.
She is our powerhouse on the outside.
Well, no doubt.
So Melinda Starks Adams has checked in saying, "Go Sam."
I think she's got a daughter that plays on your team,
She
right?
does.
Yeah. So it's really cool getting them to see this kind of stuff.
So before we get you out on the questions about the songs,
right.
Talk a little bit about the district. So, you know, the district that we can kind of compete in, kind of what do you expect from the other teams in the district?
We expect Boyle to be the biggest competitor. They've got a junior outside hitter who can put the ball away.
It's the principal's daughter, right? Is it the Christopher girl?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
know it's Kendra.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so she can put the ball away. So we've got plans in place to help give us the advantage against her.
Don't say it.
I won't.
Everybody know.
I won't.
Keep them close.
But yeah, I think they're going to be our big contender. Of course, with volleyball, your own errors can cost you a game.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And so we got to go in every game being doing our A game and not taking any team for granted.
So, and I tell you, folks, if you haven't come out and watched one of these volleyball matches, man, they're a lot of fun. They're fast-paced with the rally scoring that they went to numerous years ago.
Yeah.
And you have freshman, JV, and varsity kind of playing. So it ends up being a really nice crowd that ends up kind of cheering on the girls. So one things we did here, Coach, we're having a contest.
All right.
So, there's been a big debate this summer. Do people like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber?
Okay.
So we're trying to determine, are people Swifties or Beliebers, right?
Okay.
So I've got the top 10 songs. So I'm just going to name a song, and you tell me, is it Taylor Swift or Justin
All right,
Bieber?
The
let's
football
see how this-
team went 3 for 3.
They
and
guessed
no
on every
pressure.
one of them. though.
They guessed correctly. They
Listen.
guessed correctly.
All
All
right.
right, let's do this go.
Picture to Burn.
Oh, that's Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Oh,
Swiftie.
man.
That's an old
She
one.
didn't
I only
even
know
think.
it's an
That's
old
what I
one.
want.
She didn't even think. Well, Coach,
Coach,
best of
appreciate
luck
you.
to you. Thank you for
Thanks.
coming in.
Thank you,
We
Coach.
sure appreciate it. We'll let you get one of your seniors to come in here as will they come up on the Countryside BP studio here on the Golden Lion Sports Network. Chloe Middleton. Chloe won the award as she gets to come in and be the first one in. Good to see you, Chloe.
Good to see you.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic, Chloe. So we're gonna take some jabs at you here in a little bit to make some fun because we know both
what we do, right?
we both your mom and dad, so we like to give you a hard time. But Chloe, tell us a little bit, somebody that may not know mom and dad, who you are and kind of a little bit of your background, and catch us up to speed. Some people may not know you.
Okay, well, I am Lisa and Kevin Middleton's daughter.
That's
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
My mom is the principal at Lancaster Elementary.
Fantastic.
And my dad is the jailer for Gary County.
Fantastic. And so you've been around, obviously, your whole life, but you've been around volleyball for a long time.
Yes.
So when did you start playing volleyball?
My 6th grade year. Yes.
Man.
And Chloe, one of the things is in all seriousness, everybody knows your mom and dad.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean,
And love them.
Yeah, and I
Absolutely
mean,
love
who doesn't, right? And so, what does it kind of mean, kind of wearing the jersey that they wore? And in all seriousness, man, they love Garrett County.
Yeah,
and I
they
mean,
do.
you being able to kind of wear that jersey and kind of compete for Garrett County, what does that mean to you?
It's very special. I feel like I kind of have to live up to that because they're very known for their sports. And it's just very special knowing that I get to compete in the same place that they were born and raised as well playing in.
Oh, yeah.
So we've had your dad on during football because they're
At Rockcastle
really
County. I had the brothers on.
they had the
I
brothers.
was in between the brothers.
He had the mayor and vice mayor of Buckeye,
Buckeye.
on. And I mean, really, there's very few people, if anybody, that loves Garrett County
Oh,
football
my goodness.
as much
Yes.
as
I agree.
your
Yes.
dad and uncle. So, I mean, you've grown up with that.
Yes, I've been going to football games since I was in a carrier. Since I was, as soon as I could, they were bringing me
Oh,
to
yeah.
football games, all the away games, everything. So.
Yeah, that's. I mean, so that's. We talked to Hayden Element earlier. And that's the same type of stuff, right? Since you were born, it's something that's been in front of you forever. You're obviously a phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal academic student.
I know.
What are some things you got in on
4.0. 4.0.
Now, gee
So,
whiz.
mom or dad? Did you get it from mom or dad?
Oh, Mom, definitely. Definitely.
Well, think about it.
I
Just
was
think
going to
about
say
it a
it,
little bit.
but
I mean, just think about it before you answer. We won't want you to. So, what are some plans down the road for Chloe?
Honestly, I have so many different choices that I
Yeah.
can't really decide.
Well,
but
good.
I've thought about going to Eastern
Uh-huh.
and Asbury and several different places, but I would just like to see what comes for me down
So,
the road.
would you like to have any? Is athletics going to end this year for you, or is that a possibility down the road?
I hope so. I hope it continues for me,
Good.
but just we'll have to see where it goes by the end of
Yeah.
this year.
That
so
sounds great.
favorite memory that we've had
Oh,
playing volleyball.
beating Boyle out of the district
Oh.
semifinals. Definitely,
love it.
definitely,
Good.
yes.
I
Yeah.
love it.
You can't be
That's
that.
brownie points for us, right?
Well, Coach, you talked about some of our goals this year, were to win district,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and be very successful. What's some individual goals you may have for yourself and your team?
Well, for myself, I definitely want to get a lot of aces this year.
Yeah.
That's a spot that I've
That's
always
when they
loved.
serve. That's
yeah,
when
Yes.
they
and
serve.
they clap.
Yeah, and nobody
Hey.
catches it, and they do a spin and then cheer. That's what they do.
I was for a couple weeks. I was top 50 in the state with Diggs.
Wow.
Not for long though. I got pushed back down because I missed a couple games. But
Yeah.
I would like to get back up there again if I can.
Good for you.
And for team, definitely, I want to keep our energy and together and win districts.
Wow.
This is definitely a year to do it.
I
so.
love it. I love it. Coach is going to
She's
give
got me
you.
pretty excited about
She
volleyball
does.
here,
No
Scott.
doubt.
Yeah,
Coach
yeah.
is going to give you a song. But
All
first
right.
off, if we asked your dad a song, would he get one of these?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
is he a closet Swifty? Is that?
There's no time.
Well, you ask him.
I will,
You
I
ask
will.
him. We want to know the answer.
All right, here we go. Now, I mean, we're 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
So no
You can't
pressure
be the
there,
one.
Chloe.
You can't
All
be
right.
the one.
So New Year's Day, is that a Taylor Swift or a Justin Bieber song?
my
New Year's
goodness.
Day.
Wow, I know that one.
Oh,
I don't know.
I do not.
I don't know this one. I'm gonna go with Justin Bieber.
Oh, it's a
Is it
Swiftie.
Swiftie? I didn't know that one.
Man, that is all right. Hey, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Chloe.
Thank
we
you for having me.
appreciate you. Best of luck as we go along this year. Man, I haven't known any of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Come on in here, Skylar.
I think I could have got pictures to burn.
I
Yeah,
could not.
I might
Now
have.
listen, if I would have maybe heard it, I
Yeah.
might have known it.
Well, maybe we'll sing it the
Well,
next time.
if you could, Skylar, could you sing a song for
Jeff,
us?
you think
we
you
want to
have
see if we
time?
can
Yeah.
get one. Skylar Mullins, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Good to
you?
see you. Good to see you. So, Skylar, some people may not know you like we know you. Go ahead and tell us who you are. Give us a little bit of your background and what has brought you to your senior year at Garrett County High School.
I'm Skylar.
Skylar, you have a last name.
Mullins.
There you go, Skylar. Come on.
I am a senior,
Uh-huh.
and I love volleyball. That's all I do.
So how long have you played volleyball, Skylar?
Now, this is going to be my 9th year,
Ninth year
Ninth
playing
year.
volleyball. Wow.
and I come from Richmond.
Uh-huh.
I played at Clark Moore's, and then my ninth grade year, I played at Madison Central.
And we tried.
Wow.
We tried to
Yeah.
get her out for basketball.
Oh.
I mean, we had her for like a week.
Yeah.
I was like, dang on it, because she'd
Well-
been really good.
That was one of the things one of our board members stuck in and was watching volleyball practice. And he was really impressed with the height of a lot of our girls.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, does some of those play basketball too? And I was like,
I told him. He
It's
was
the
former
coach.
basketball
It's
coach.
coaches,
He
is
was
that what
here
it is,
for a long
Skylar?
time. So, Skylar, you've been playing for a ton of years. So, what do you like most about about volleyball and like the competition of volleyball?
I'm very competitive, so it's a very competitive game. And I just love volleyball. Like, I love playing.
Oh
so.
yeah. So what's your favorite part? Like when you get up and you like stuff somebody and you
I
block them,
think I could guess
or
what
is
her
when you
favorite
just
part is.
hammer one down?
Yeah,
Is it-
that's my favorite. I love the overpassing, and I love hitting it as
The
hard
keel,
as I
right?
can.
Oh,
the
yeah.
kill. So
Oh, yeah.
short guys, we don't know anything. We don't know anything about that kind of
So
stuff.
when you're going up to just spike one
Mm-hmm.
and kill it, so are we looking at the defense to kind of see where the opening is, or are you just rearing back and saying if you're
I'm just hitting it. Like,
yeah, if you get in the way, good luck, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever get mad at somebody? Like, I'm just gonna hammer her with the ball one time, just bam. Do you ever get that? Sometimes they deserve it.
I mean,
sometimes.
we know all about that.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's exactly right. So tell us about school. You know, one of these days, obviously, come May, you're going to be out of school. What are some of the future plans for Skylar Mullins?
I'm definitely gonna play in college. That's
Good.
a definite.
Uh-huh.
But school's not my favorite. Like, it's,
Shocker.
It's not my favorite.
I'm the same. I was the
It
same.
was,
and
man, we were academic all stars.
academic, actually, I'll be honest with you. I had a teacher that I had in high school saw me when I was first teaching, and she goes, "What are you doing here in professional development?" I said, "Well, I'm teaching." She goes, "Really?"
I think I can guess who that one was.
So it happens.
What is
It
our
happens.
but what is our favorite class? Surely you've got a class that you've enjoyed more than others.
I like science.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
who's your what teacher did you have that you liked the most?
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. Yeah, I was sitting here trying to read
I don't
it.
know his name.
I could,
Sergeant. His name was.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Sergeant.
great.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Sargent, yeah.
Fantastic.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's what I was thinking.
Bill
of.
I. That'd have been whoever I'd had this year. So, what's some of your goals this year personally, and then what's some of your goals for the team?
I want to be Boyle County.
Fantastic.
Oh, man.
I want
That's
you
a
to
goal.
be
I like
Boyle
this.
County. Yes.
Yeah. And then I want my sister to play
Yeah.
some with me. I love playing with Jerica.
That's great.
She's really good.
Uh-huh.
So what grade is she in?
She's a freshman. No, she's going in sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that pretty neat, kind of being on the same floor with her? Yeah.
Oh, she's a talker.
She
I love
is. She
Jerica.
is.
It takes one to know
That's
one,
right. We had lots of good conversations when she's in the middle school when I was filling in.
Yeah.
She's a great gal.
Yeah.
So, Coach, do you think she can grab one of these songs or not?
All right, you need to pick up for Chloe here, okay?
Okay. I
So
got
Taylor Swift, are you a Taylor Swift fan?
No.
Yeah. Are you Justin Bieber fan?
No.
All right, so
Oh, she's got
you're
it.
in perfect shape for this. All right. Peaches.
Justin Bieber.
Oh,
Dang.
a believer.
Man, thank you. We so appreciate you,
Thank you,
Skylar.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you as we as you start in your volleyball season. You can go ahead. Who we got next?
We got
Coach?
Dr. Vance. He's out in
Dr.
the
Vance
hallway.
coming in here.
Thank you all. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys.
I tell you what,
Get
Scott.
out and watch the volleyball
Oh,
team,
yeah.
folks.
I mean, man, I tell you, I continue to be so impressed. Just so blessed with our coaches, so
Oh,
blessed
yeah.
with our student athletes, and the way that they kind of represent Garrett County. It just kind of makes you really proud and excited for what's going on in Garrett County Schools.
Well, it does, and I'm excited to get out. And like you said, sometimes we don't get the opportunity to see everything because the other night there was like 4 activities going on at the same time. So even though, sit down here, Dr. Vance,
the
even though we
doctor
don't
is in
get
the house.
the chance to do that, we got to get out there. Everybody needs to support these folks. Yeah. By the way, Ronald Howard checking in.
The man,
as
Ron
one of
Howard.
our fantastic sponsors, as we love Ron. We were giving him a hard time the other day when we did our little live about just his school spirit. I said he would win the School Spirit Award.
Yeah, he's Mr. Garrett County School Spirit.
Mr. Garrett County School Spirit. Speaking of school spirit, Dr. Vance. Hello, Dr. Vance. Before we go any farther, spiders. So you're wearing a spider.
Yes.
So there has to be a theme here, I'm assuming. 2023 GCHS marching band. So either y'all have been bitten by a spider, or this is the theme for the year.
Yes, it's Along Came a Spider.
Oh, okay.
Along
it's
came
set
a
down
spider.
beside her.
Well,
That was an old
That
thing.
was-
See?
You're all over.
I'm all over this.
You basically wrote the script.
I can write it. Just tell me when you need help.
well, you just were talking about how you did come out and see this stuff. I mean, we're going to Bowling Green this year.
Oh, I'm in.
Come on,
Oh, I'm
now.
in.
So
Just
I
tell me to win.
do feel like we've messed up a little bit. We did introduce him as Doctor.
But
As Ella
Christopher
Johnson
Vance.
has reminded me, the Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. Now, some people may
Thanks,
not
Ella.
know
Thanks.
Ella Johnson.
Yes,
but
that's
they made it is new. That's new. It's Ella Vance Johnson.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, you're old enough to have a daughter that's married.
I'm also old enough to retire.
So be easy on him. We don't want Dr. Godfather to retire.
No, Dr. Vance is the man. Some of you folks that may not know Dr. Vance, he's been around for a long, long time, been at the most successful thing that we've had at Garrett County for a long time as far as athletics and extracurriculars that go. But, Mr. Vance, tell us a little bit about the band, man. I know you've been very excited for multiple years, but you really like this group you got.
Yeah, we got a great group. We had a great group last year that kind of got us back into finals after COVID and everything kind of messed things up. We have we got strong players. We got strong marchers. We still got young ones coming in, but that's an every year thing we just deal with. And we also have a fantastic bunch of seniors.
That's great.
And if they'll lead the way they can, and everybody else will follow, it's going to be a really good year for us.
So Chris, talk us. Let's take a step back a little bit, and I want you to expand on 2 things. Number one is for people that don't know the ins and outs of how marching band works. Kind of talk about like the year, how much work that goes into this, and just to kind of preface that, I'm an old football coach. And we would be out there practicing, and the guys would be lethargic sometimes during the summer, during the hot days. Yeah. And the band was on the blacktop before we started practicing, and the band was on the blacktop after we stopped practicing.
With that ding, ding,
ding,
that thing going. Check a set.
So kind of talk a little bit about the scope of all the work that kind of goes into having a successful marching band.
It is. It's a lot, and every year I end up telling the kids at some point. I don't think I've told them this year so far. Chris might be able to correct me on that. That they've got to be a little crazy to do this, because we do, there's 2 full weeks of camp where it's 8 to 5 every day with everybody. And there's a whole other week of just the color guard, which is all the flags and things, and the percussion. And that's another week of 8 to 5. And then school starts.
Yeah.
And then we're practicing 3 days a week. And then we have, of course, football games. And then we go to contests. If we're not going to a contest on a Saturday, we're probably going to practice all day, just to try to get things lined out and fixed as fast as we can. And then, like at most other activities too, we'll jump in during fall break and have some practices too.
Well, one of the exciting things with our new facility that's coming out and our new football field and the different things is now you're going to be able to host, a contest, which we've never really been able to because of the size of our press box and vice versa. But one of the things, what does that mean for you guys to be able to have, hey, this is where we're having our contest?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing that. I think we're probably looking forward to it a little bit more, just to have the ability to practice on what a lot of the fields are we go to, which is AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about rain or mud, which gives us the opportunity to host a contest.
Right.
And then, just hoping that things move swiftly with the construction of everything.
Let's expand a little bit on that. Okay. So it has been a challenge.
Yes.
I mean, let's just be honest, right? So basically, the expectations were when band was ready to rock and roll that there would be a paved, parking lot for y'all to get out there and kind of practice on. And unfortunately, due to whatever circumstances,
some water problems,
it just didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So kind of talk a little bit about kind of you being the leader of the band and kind of what it took for you and your staff to kind of look at some different alternative options to make sure that the kids still had opportunities to practice.
We did everything we normally do. We just had to do it in a different order. Where normally we're spending half of our day inside and out, we had to spend a lot more time inside just focusing on the music part of things. And then what ended up being the coolest part of it is what we learned, even though we were only outside for 1 week, was about the same thing we normally learn. And that just speaks volumes about the kids. Because they were like, I said, guys, we just got to, what was it I said? We have to adapt and overcome.
Right.
We can't control this. And so they said, let's go. And they said, okay.
Yeah.
And they did it. So that was a very nice surprise. So we didn't really know what was going to happen.
Right.
Without having that extra time in there.
So every year we have a few band schools that we circle because we know those are probably our biggest competition this year. Who are some folks to keep an eye on this year when we get to state?
Well, just the same names that we normally run into. There's Russell County and Taylor County. Boyle County has had a good bands at times throughout the years. We see Estill every year. The big juggernauts that have kind of joined our class recently is Murray and Beechwood.
Gotcha.
And they have really, supposedly Murray's got a band of 140.
Wow.
This year. So
that's a single A school too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's impressive. That's impressive numbers. Yeah. So, Chris, one of the things that, and all jokes aside, I've always said the band, my 25th year in Garrett County, starting year 25, and Scott said it right. I mean, number one, the final appearances that we have. We're right up there in the top 10 in our class, right? Kind of having those final appearances that we've had. It's not even it's objectable. Our band has been the most successful program that we've had year in and year out during my time. And one of the things I think that not only your leadership and the hard work and dedication, great kids, great family support, but just the work, the synergy that gets created through the high school and middle school program. So we're blessed to have Noel Green. Noel's been here.
I'm starting my 29th. He's starting his 27th.
So
wow. We've done them all together.
Just how valuable that is for you all to work together to kind of build that synergy. So, when programs are going to have sustained success, it's vital for high school, middle school to really work together to kind of make sure we're beating to the same drum.
It all has to go the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's stop talking about band. Now here's where we get to what everybody's. So eventually, we don't want it to happen anytime soon. Eventually, you're going to retire. So I want to know. Are you going to work on a crab boat for deadliest catch?
Well, that's one of my questions I got.
So I want to know, is that what's going to happen? And if so, if you were working on a crab boat in deadliest catch, which boat would you choose?
See, that's tough. There's
some tough one.
Wild Bill is a Steelers fan.
I've just changed my mind on who I like the most.
Man, see, I didn't know that.
Sig has just been constant.
Sig's constant.
And the Hill Strains are hilarious.
They are the most fun.
That's who I'm with.
Yeah.
Sig, I'd be afraid I'd get secondhand smoke.
No kidding. I tell you what, I'd be afraid all of them would yell at me. And I'd end up wanting to just go back home.
So we do have some shout-outs we want to get to with our band. So Jonathan Jasper has checked in saying, go marching band, Mr. Vance and Chris.
Yes, sir.
So Donnelly Barnes has checked in saying it's the best time of the year. Man, I agree with that. I'm telling you, it's Christmas morning all over again. And then Kaylin Norvell has checked in saying, Dr. Professor Vance.
I tell you, I'm glad this is caught on.
And then Ron Howard, best wishes to the Garrett County Band. Take it to the state.
We'll be there. We're going.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a matter of when I'm going to be there. Yeah. Well, you tell me what day I need to be there.
Pit crew.
Yeah,
we'll volunteer to be in the pit crew.
Well, see, we're actually going to have to raise money this year just for hotel rooms. We're going to have to go down there.
Oh, yeah?
And I figured you probably already have your reservation.
So here's the deal. I've got mine.
He likes the cold weather, Chris.
And I'm not a fan of cold weather, nor am I a fan of spiders. However, I'm a huge fan of Chris Vance and the band. So because of that, we would definitely do it. So before we get you to this question, I know there's an Office question.
Oh yeah,
that wants to be asked here.
The favorite quote from The Office. If you had one quote, what would it be?
Or your favorite character.
Or your favorite character. Yeah.
Well, the one that always sticks out in my mind that's just the funniest one, and it's all because of Michael Scott's reaction, is when he's gotten in trouble for saying things he shouldn't say that are inappropriate.
Yeah, it does that a lot.
And he's trying not to. He said that this is the end of his time in comedy. Everything, they keep egging him on, and finally he just goes, well, that's what she said. And then she just starts laughing and loses it.
I'm out. So that's one of the funny things that over the years that we've talked about, we've had so much fun just enjoying our friendships. And that's the great thing that I can take.
And I've said this. First of all, Ella Johnson has checked in saying it would be Captain Sig for her.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Ella has. And then Keith Kirkpatrick just checked in. Best wishes, band. Okay. So, thank you. And I will say this in all seriousness. As a former high school principal, the success that I had as a principal, the success that we had as a school, Chris Vance was a big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Not just from the experience that he offered our band students, but just being a leader in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Other
Site-based
teachers.
council.
Yeah, site-based council member. The teachers kind of respect Chris and the leadership that he had. So, no doubt about it. We're blessed to have you in Garrett County, and I feel like I'm blessed to call you a friend.
No doubt.
So I appreciate that. Now, before we get you out, we're having a contest. So, Chris, you can listen to this as well.
We're 4 for 5.
We're 4 for 5 right now.
Yeah, don't let us down.
The big debate that Jeff has asked us to settle today is, a Swiftie or a Belieber. So
Which
Taylor
is a terrible, isn't that a stupid name, a Belieber? Who in the world? Like, how dumb is that?
So it's either Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber here. We've also had Jennifer Harris just checked in saying, best wishes to Garrett County Marching Band. Thank you for the shout-out to Estill County's band. Can't wait to see your wonderful band and Band Moms in September. So that's the cool thing about band, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, so, you do have a competition, or we're competitive with one another, but we love the kind of seeing everybody being successful and have a good experience with one another.
We're excited for them to finish second.
All right, so here we go. So I'm going to give you – I've got the top 10 songs from Taylor Swift, top 10 songs from Justin Bieber.
I'm not going to know any of them.
Yeah, you will.
You got a 50% chance, 50%
right? 50% chance. And if you sing it, you get bonus.
Yeah. This is a good one for band, okay?
Yeah.
Beauty and a Beat. Beauty and a Beat. Is it Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber?
It's not a breakup song, so
Yeah, well, that's true. It's probably not Taylor Swift then.
So is your guess Justin Bieber?
I guess.
He's a believer.
Yes.
He's right.
I'm not a believer. Oh gosh.
He's a crab boat fisherman.
So Samantha Feldman, we miss band since we're moving, especially Vance and Green. They were my directors.
Well,
so everybody loves the band, man.
Thank you, Brother Vance.
Well,
we appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you. Yes,
appreciate you coming in and bringing your Diet Coke obsession in here with us. We used to give him a hard time. He'd build a pyramid in his office with all those things.
I thought you was in the back of his car.
Well, maybe that too. And we didn't even get a chance to talk to him about about how long it took him to get on a cell phone.
Hey, we were texting back and forth last night.
Oh, are you really?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's a shocker. Chris, good to see you, man.
Good to see you,
Good
too.
to see you. We appreciate you coming in. We've heard just phenomenal things about what's going on with your leadership with the band. But tell us, before we get started, Chris, tell us a little bit about you, some people who may not know you, a little bit of your background and what's brought you to today.
Well, a little bit of my background is, let's see. So I'm not originally from Garrett County.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Came here when I was around 5, and then I've been coming here ever since.
Fantastic.
Where at in South Carolina? Where were you born, Chris?
Small town called Newberry.
Okay.
It's like central South Carolina.
Yeah, I go to Hilton Head every year, so we drive
really?
through Newberry. We stop every now and then.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so no doubt.
So you feel like you won the lottery moving out of South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Garrett County, God's country, GC, God's country, right?
GC.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about, we talked just about your theme just for a second, but we didn't get really into the complexity of the theme. Tell us a little bit about the show this year and what we can expect to see when we're there cheering you on in the finals.
So a little bit about the show, from what I've understood, is it's, of course, a spider show, but it's pretty much, at the beginning, you're just like scared of the spider.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you're in a
Scott's terrified of
very
spiders.
understandable.
you're in a big fear, and then as the show goes on into the ballad and closer, you let go of that fear, and it could create something beautiful at the end.
One of the things that always, and I talked to Vance about this many times, that amazes me is, one, you have to be skilled enough to play an instrument, for one.
Yeah.
Then you have to be smart enough to be able to remember where to go.
And coordinated
and then coordinated enough to do it while you're playing. Yeah. I mean, so to me, that is just impossible. But for you, how hard is that stuff to learn? Because your program is probably, 4 or 5 minutes long, 3 minutes long?
I think this year it's 7 minutes long.
Well, 7 minutes long. So, I mean, that's complex. I mean, how hard is that to learn and as far as just to make sure that you've got it down pat?
Well, at the beginning, like first year, 8th grade, it was just impossible. There's so much stuff you had to do, like having to memorize music, having to know where you're stepping, things like that. But the system that Vance has, it's really good. So, like, in the morning we'll be inside doing all this, like, no, we'll be outside learning all the drill. Mm-hmm. We'll head out to lunch, and then in the afternoon we'll just go straight to playing music. So, like, the system really works well because we're learning drill, we're learning music and all that, but, like, we practice so much that it just gets implemented in your brain.
Like, so, Chris, what does it mean to be the drum major? What does that mean to you when you got offered that and you know, you kind of got awarded that? What did that mean to you?
For me, it's being a drum major is like being a father. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, I have to be a leader, but I have to like show everyone why I'm doing the specific job, why I'm there, things like that. I have to lead the band on. I have to, like I said, be a father. I'm handing people sunscreen, sunglasses, things like that. It's crazy, but like, I guess I'm just supposed to be there as a figure. That's what I see myself as.
So if things aren't going right, all right, and we hear do it again or what?
Check a set.
Take it back. Check a set.
Come on, clarinets. I've heard him say this stuff all the time.
So does he get upset at you, or does he get upset at the whole band?
Depends on the situation. Like, if I have a bad cutoff, bad entrance, things like that, then of course it'll be me. But if let's say the trumpets, I'm a trumpet player. Let's say if the trumpets start rushing, then it'll be at the trumpets, of course, because they're not going with me. I'm giving my my patterns right, and if they're not going with me, then that's their fault.
Right.
So it just depends on who's in the wrong at that point.
So after school this year, what's the future plans? What we got on tap?
All right. So my plan is to head the UK, University of Kentucky. I've gone there a couple times for a tour, and my plan is to go get a biology degree, and then apply to med school.
Wow. Yeah. That's great.
4.0. And, you know, Dr. Vance had a 4.0 in high school.
He did.
He combined his junior and senior year, Chris. And combined, they were 4.0. You know?
So Chris, man, it's been a pleasure to meet you. We got a question.
We got some shout-outs
here.
Oh,
we do it.
So Paige Richards said she's a Swiftie. So go GC band. So Kathy Denham, Vance and Green are the best. Selena Willoughby, love it. Whitney, let me see here. I got cut off here. Whitney Abel said Vance is secretly a Swiftie.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I 100%. He acted like he didn't know that song.
He knew all the songs.
He knew all the songs.
And then Selena again said the new show's going to be great. And then Juan Perez said, it's Christopher. So he's giving you a shout-out. Chris.
Thank you.
So sorry, Christopher. We'll make sure. We got to get a question here for you.
All right, so is this a Taylor Swift song or Justin Bieber? So we're trying to determine who's the, what these songs are here, okay? So let me see if I've got another one here. Style. So is that a Taylor Swift song or a Justin Bieber song? Style.
I want to say Justin Bieber, but
Justin. So what's your guess?
I'll go Taylor Swift.
It's a Swiftie.
Hey, last second. Christopher, it was great, man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck this year.
I hope that Taylor Swift song made the color guard happy.
See, you're on top of your game.
Buddy.
Thanks, Christopher. Dr. Professor Vance.
I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you all for coming in. And again, nobody works as hard as the band.
Oh, my goodness.
Always.
What'd you think, Jeff?
Just good stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it funny?
Smile,
just seeing these, how awesome these kids questions are. Because we're going to have the girls soccer team is going to come in here as we got Coach Brett Deshawn out in the hallway, I think, with his couple of folks.
And, I mean, we're just continue to be blessed.
Oh, man.
To kind of have these coaches in place and kind of have these student athletes representing Garrett County.
Come on in here, Coach.
I mean, just absolutely blessed.
And, and again, if you haven't been out to just watch any of these sports in action.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
It sure is.
And just seeing these kids compete and seeing these kids work hard day in and day out as we have head coach Brett Deshawn coming in.
And I want one of them shirts.
Those are nice.
These have been a hot commodity. We got them last week.
The revenge tour, Jeff.
That's right.
This is the revenge tour.
I'm aware.
I've
heard all about it.
So we've got a lot of revenge talking about coming down through here. So, Coach,
that's right.
Most everybody probably already knows you, but if we don't, tell us a little bit about who you are, a little bit about your history, and how you became Garrett County's head coach.
Yeah, I grew up in Lincoln County.
That's okay.
Born and raised. I know. Everyone's pretty nice to me still.
We have things to overcome in our life. Caleb overcame it.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. I knew I liked Caleb for a reason.
That's right.
There's that natural
natural connection. Yeah, that's right. Class of 93.
No. Well, I'm a little bit older, a little younger than that. I was 2013, if it makes you feel better.
20-year difference.
Yeah, 20 years. That's not too much. But no, born and raised Lincoln County. Didn't really get huge into soccer until I was probably sophomore year of high school. I always loved it, but I was sure I was going to be a baseball player or a basketball player. But then I had a coach, Coach Chaz Garcia, who he just changed my outlook on soccer. And from then on, I became really passionate about it. And I just the situation here in Garrett County was very similar to what I faced over in Lincoln County as a player. We were not a very prominent team when I was playing there for the boys program, and just over the course of my high school career, it totally flipped on its head, and we ended up winning a district championship.
Yeah,
it's still the only one boys or girls in Lincoln County soccer history over there to this day. And so when this job, showed itself to me, I was like, it's very similar to what I went through at Lincoln. I saw a lot of potential here, and I said, I'd love to do that here with this group of girls and with this community. And so we were really close a few years ago to winning district. You all may have remembered it was over here.
Hosted it?
We hosted it, and we hosted this year too.
Oh, yeah.
So we're hoping to get it done this year. But that's one of our driving goals as a program, and it has been since I started about 6 years ago.
So, right along with that, Coach, is, you've talked about the success that we've had, and we've had a lot of success over the last couple of years with our girls soccer program. Last year, a little bit of a tough season, just a lot of youth that was involved in the program, as well as some injuries that occurred, and so we've kind of made this year being the revenge tour.
Sure.
So kind of go into kind of what the thought process with that was.
Yeah, I mean, last year, and we tell the girls this all the time, it wasn't their fault that it was a tough season. There was a lot of things that were out of our control that happened, and we knew the girls that we had, 2 of them were sitting right over here, we knew they were just fine. I mean, they're exactly what we needed on our team. And so we told them, trust the process. It's all going to work out. It's going to amount to something next year. And so they did that, and I was always amazed at the mental fortitude they showed in persevering through last season, because it was tough. I mean, it's a tough year. It was hard on me and Coach Leanne Kirkpatrick. It was tough on us, and it was really tough on these girls, but they managed to stay the course and see the bigger picture. And so we were thinking of different names to call this season. We said Redemption Tour, Revenge Tour, and Redemption sounds nicer. It's not quite as harsh.
Sure.
But we thought, there was a lot of games last year when people belittled us on the field. They laughed at us, and so I think let's go with that. Let's go with revenge. And, of course, Coach K loved it. She said, no, that's what we're doing. So,
well, and I tell you what, results speak for themselves.
That's right.
So the first match, we scored more goals than we scored all year last year.
There was some frustration built up.
Oh, yes. Right. And started the season 3-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 2-0, we would have won yesterday. That game got
we got postponed.
It's a win.
We'll have a shot at it September 2nd.
So, but I mean, the results speak for themselves. So I think the girls have really kind of taken this to heart.
They have, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your team, and tell us some things obviously you've been working on, and some of the things you guys obviously are excelling at right now.
Well, we've got a great team. I mean, I've never had a team that worked this hard collectively.
Yeah.
We have 25 girls, and they've all bought in all summer. They came to our two-a-days, our infamous two-a-days. We've had very few issues attendance-wise. Everyone was there. they're pushing themselves. They were running up and down the hills. They were running their miles. I mean, they did everything we asked, and there was no excuses. There was no this is too much for me. Like, they just bought in and they took it. So, this is as hardworking and as tough a team as I've ever had, and it's just been great to see them come together. We knew that we had a lot of talent with the sophomores and juniors that stayed, and then with the freshmen coming up, and so now it's just been can we get them together? Can we bridge the gap between the maturity levels and just the knowledge of each other? Bridge that gap through a lot of bonding, and we've seen it translate to the field. Yeah, they've been able to do that, and so it's only going to get better because even at 9-0 win, we probably played at 60%. I really don't even think we played that well in the 9-0 win, so that just means our ceiling is super high, and I think come district time, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat us in region time, too.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of freshmen on the roster.
Right. Yeah, we've got 15 to 16.
Yeah, 15 freshmen.
That's great numbers.
They won the conference last year.
Won the conference,
so they've had a lot of success. So you kind of gel on some of that young talent with returning talent. And like I said, man, we got off to a great start.
Yeah, we're really excited. We're supposed to play tomorrow night. We'll see what the weather does.
Right.
That's one of the terrible things about outdoor sports. But we're really excited going into this week. We got 2 home games Monday and Thursday.
Who you got?
Play Somerset tomorrow night. They're, of course, a part of this revenge tour. And then Mercer County, who was actually one of our wins last year, they're going to come and want their own revenge. So Thursday should be interesting. They're really well coached, so it'll be a tough one.
And we'll come out, and we're going to broadcast one of the girls' soccer matches.
That'd be awesome.
This
we
year.
love having y'all out there.
So, yeah, we're looking forward to doing it.
I know the sun's tough, but
the sun's tough. But I tell you, we'll find us an overcast day. We'll be – we got a plan.
Okay.
We're working on some plans.
I don't know what it is, but there's a plan.
We never tell Scott.
That's probably better that way.
I just found out we got a football game this week. So that's a good thing. So Coach, before we get to the question here, obviously one of the goals every year is winning district, being very successful. What's some things though for you, goal wise for this team that you're wanting to see, building blocks as far as building the program to have it where you want it to be?
The main thing, we want to win the district, okay, and that's the biggest goal. That's always the goal. We want to win the district, and then we want to go into region and make some noise as well. I mean, we're not content just winning games in the regular season. Really, the regular season is just practice for postseason. Right. You all know that. There's 3 games that matter in our regular season. That's Lincoln, Danville, Boyle. Yeah. So we want to make sure we do well in those games, but just make sure we're prepared as a team going into this district tournament so that we can do what we need to do to get into region.
Fantastic.
Go make noise again.
Well, tell us about the 2 before we ask you your question here that you brought with you today.
Oh, just horrible. No, I'm kidding. They're great. These are our 2 captains. They were voted on by their peers as captains. They represent our program really well. We're super proud of them, and they've both matured a great deal in just the short amount of time they've been in our high school program.
Well, Coach, let's see what we got.
So what we're doing here, Coach, we get you out on this question. And girls, y'all are going to be asked this as well. So
they'll know it. I heard it out there.
We're having a debate. Are we Swifties or Beliebers, right?
Okay.
So I've got the top 10 songs from Taylor Swift, top 10 songs from Justin Bieber. So I'm going to ask you the name of a song, and you're just going to tell me is it Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. Okay? Blank space.
That's
blank
a Swiftie.
space. Oh, Swifty.
Attaboy.
There you go.
Attaboy.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you coming in.
all.
We're going to have one of his fantastic young ladies that's going to come in here.
So Kathy Vance checked in saying that was a lot of fun. Thank you. So appreciate all Vance's family, Dr. Vance's family.
From Paris. From Paris. Just checking in.
International.
Paris. That's great stuff. How are you, Miss Mercedes Gaskin? Good to see you. Thank you for coming back as we had you last year.
Did you learn anything from our interview last year, Mercedes?
That we were just nuts. So, Mercedes, remind our listeners and our folks that are watching, the thousands of people that are watching right now. Remind them a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your background.
Okay. My name is Mercedes. I've played for him. I've been here since 7th grade. Obviously, I played for middle school. I'll be a junior. I'm the captain with Erica. They moved me to midfield this year instead of defense. And
so, is that something you like better?
Honestly, yes, because I get more touches on the ball mainly and more opportunities to shoot.
Now,
that's the best part.
It's a little bit more running too, right, though? Because you're kind of playing offense and you're kind of coming back and kind of helping on the defensive end as well, right?
Yeah. A lot more running.
So have you had to make some adjustments to conditioning or some of your work kind of off the field to kind of prepare for that?
I had to be more confident in my footwork rather than being in defense when you don't really get to mess with the ball as much. And, I've always ran a lot, and I'm kind of
That's
all
no
that
big
running.
deal. You're like,
yeah, no big deal for all that.
you're like
running.
16, 17
Yeah, we
years
only
old.
run when
That's
people
no
are
big-
chasing
That's
us.
exactly right. So if you had the choice between offense and defense, which one do you like better?
Offense.
Do you? Everybody likes to score, right?
Yeah.
Everybody likes to score. So last year, obviously, we had, you took some lumps, and it was a learning process and getting to that point. And now you've got some more experience. We've got a lot of the folks back. We've obviously started 3-0. So what are some things that you learned last year that you're helping to coach these freshmen, because you got a bunch of them, all 15 of them. How are you coaching those girls along on some things that you learned your previous years?
I've learned to just keep your head up, keep going. Like our game at Casey County, they were, talking, and I've learned last year to just dial down, just get through it, you'll be fine, and just make the most memories that you can. And because we had the rough season, so, I know, try to teach them to get through those hard games.
And Mercedes, that's a mature answer because everybody always talks about emotion and getting fired up and playing hard, which of course all those things matter. But at the end of the day, it's about execution, right? So it's about what team is going to execute the best and execute the kind of game plan the best. So I'm sure your ability to kind of endure some of that last year to kind of help lead some of these freshmen is going to kind of pay dividends for our girls soccer team. How's it feel to get off to such a great start?
It feels amazing. It feels good to get some goals up on them, and it feels great to win because we only had 2 wins last year, and it feels really good.
Well, that's great. Now I know you're not a senior yet, so you got a little bit of time, but down the road, what can you see yourself doing?
I would like to coach high school. I want to be a high school teacher.
Oh,
fantastic!
I love hearing that. Can we sign you to a contract
right now? Can we put that in writing? We'd like to get that. What subject would you like to teach?
I'm looking for English, I think.
Good.
Wow,
hey,
that's great.
Need those all
What's
the time.
been our favorite class in high school so far?
English.
English. Who was the teacher?
Miss Hoskins.
Oh,
fantastic!
She's a rock star.
Yeah,
fantastic. That's great stuff. Well, we got a really tough question to ask.
All
you.
right, Swifty or Belieber here, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to name the song here, Mercedes, and you tell me who sung it, okay?
All right.
Private Landing. Is that Justin Bieber or is that Taylor Swift? Private Landing.
I'm going to go Taylor Swift.
It's Justin Bieber.
Oh, man.
You did great,
thank you so much,
Thank
Mercedes.
you.
We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
yes.
Thanks for coming in as we get our last guest with us today, Miss Erica Hebenthal, as Erica's going to come down here and sit down and talk to us. Erica, what's happening?
What's up?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Erica. So again, it's a lot like Mercedes. We had you in here last year, and you were ready to go and tell us a little bit about Erica. I know kind of where you've grown up and stuff, but some of these folks may not.
I'm Erica. I'm a junior. I play soccer and basketball.
You got just the coolest brother in the world.
Oh yeah, totally.
Big Wheel is like the coolest brother in the world. And so I know I got to know you very well last year through basketball. So I feel very, very blessed to get to know you. But I do know that you're very physical and you like soccer.
Yes.
And you like soccer. What's some of your favorite part of playing soccer?
Being the goalie. I mean, that's definitely my favorite part.
So what kind of it's a different mentality.
Yes, it is very different.
It's a different mentality. So when all these other gals are rolled out there's certain things that they're doing. How are you getting in the mindset, and what is your mindset going into any game?
I just got to stop as many balls as I can, no matter what I have to do. Cheer on my team from where I am, and just.
So, Erica, one of the things I love asking our 2-star and 2-sport, 3-sport stars is, so if the game's on the line, you catch a ball in basketball on the wing to shoot a 3 to win the game, or penalty kicks, and you've got to stop it to win the game for your team as the goalkeeper. What scenario would you enjoy the most?
Probably the 3. Penalty kicks are definitely not my favorite personally.
It puts a goalkeeper in a tough situation.
They're very tough to stop.
How many? I mean, you probably don't know the exact number, but have you been in those situations before?
Yes.
with your penalty kicks?
My freshman year, we played Boyle County. It was during regular season, and we did get the win.
Oh yeah,
definitely got the win.
Let's go.
But we did go into PKs, and it was very tough.
Yeah, because then at that point, all eyes are on you, right?
Yeah, it was also my first year playing. So it was really nerve-wracking. But
so what are some things that you do to prepare, as a goalie? I mean, you have certain drills that you do opposite of what everybody else does. Like, for instance, a place kicker in football may have some certain things or vice versa. Do you have some things that you do specifically for being a good goalie?
So Coach Shane, before every game, works with me during, we do ground drills and we do a bunch of hand working stuff, eye coordination, and just kind of stuff like that.
So do you get to wear the really cool, bright jerseys?
Last year I did.
What color?
This year it was neon green.
Neon green.
You want everybody to
Is
know.
it neon green this year as well?
No, it's actually, mine is gray.
Oh,
okay.
Good. So we asked this to Mercedes last year. We took some lumps at certain times. What are some things you took from that's helping you now off to the start that you're on? And then how are you helping those 15 freshmen that are coming up?
So last year was really tough for all of us. You just kind of have to go in there with the mindset we have to be better than last year,
right?
And you just got to work 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Well, and the results speak for themselves.
Yes,
no doubt.
yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. Coach said, that this team has been working just unbelievably hard. And obviously you can see the results of that. So a little bit down the road before you graduate. So what do you see yourself doing down the road?
So kind of depends on sports. That's a really big thing, or a veterinarian.
A veterinarian.
Wow.
Great.
You got any funny stories about Coach Bowling and basketball?
I don't have any funny stories.
No.
I was asking Erica.
Yeah, I don't have any funny stories. We don't talk about. Maybe for Coach Preston.
Yeah, definitely Coach Preston.
Yeah. What about Coach Deshaun? Does he ever do anything that you all just kind of laugh at times?
I mean, this is a safe place.
Say he's not listening.
He's not listening.
He's not listening right now. Does he ever have any sayings or anything that you all just kind of laugh?
So I tend to backpedal a lot when the ball is coming towards me. So he's always like, stay up, stay up, stay up. And I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it.
Well, you're just not very good at listening about that, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Don't do that. Well, Erica, we got a big time question to ask you here before.
So we do have a few shout outs.
Oh, okay, great.
Landon Denson has checked in.
Yeah,
Sam said hello. Rachel
Landon.
Parker has checked
Clapping.
in. And then Selena Willoughby said, definitely goalie and then go eat.
Yeah.
So she wanted to kind of give you a shout out. All right, so pick Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. Okay. How about Shake It Off?
Oh, that's definitely Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Swifty. Definitely Taylor.
Well, Erica, thank you so much.
Of course.
Best
Thank
of luck
you.
to you. We'll be out there watching you. We're so excited about you guys and the girls basketball team. We just talked about it. The girls soccer team. As we're not see you guys. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the boys soccer in today,
but let's
we'll
talk
get
just a real quick. Okay.
Yep.
So the boys has gone off to a great start. First year head coach Jackson Moss. Is leading the program there. Got a really talented coaching staff. John Martin assistant as well. Gotten off to a 0-1 start. And returns 88% of their scoring.
Huge.
Brandon McGlone. I'm telling you, I've read the Brandon McGlone previews
that
here.
That is
huge. Last year was the first time. Last year's team won 10 games. I think it was the first time since 2006 that the boys soccer team had won 10 games. So, Coach Lewis Klusner did a great job kind of building the program back to where we want it. Jackson Moss is taking it and kind of continuing to kind of push further. We'll have Jackson and a couple players on kind of down the road. Just ran into a few scheduling conflicts today, so we were unable to kind of have our boys soccer folks on.
Now, the word on the street is that Jackson has a special weapon that goes in scouts for him.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't want to give it away because he may actually do broadcasting with us occasionally.
Yeah.
But
I listen to what that guy says.
I know. He sends him out there. So
I'm never going to argue with the judge.
We had a discussion about it the other day, and how it's really cool. But no, so excited for Jackson and the team and the coaching staff and the great things that are ahead. And I know they're off to a great start. Unfortunately, we couldn't get them in here at the BP Countryside Studios today, but we'll get them.
Yeah, we'll get them
as we go down the road.
And we mentioned how busy the fall sports seasons are. We've got high school cheer going on, middle school cheer going on, cross countries are going on, golf is going on, middle school soccer as well as the high school soccer, and then girls basketball at the middle school. So it's a busy fall sports.
It's a very busy time. I mean, at any point in time at 6 o'clock on a weeknight, our campuses are jammed packed, and it can be all the way from middle school girls playing at GC all the way up to the soccer field and anywhere in between. So at any point in time that you can get out, and Jeff, I know we talk about it all the time, but how impressed are you with our student athletes and coaches?
They're great.
Isn't it great?
I mean, it's fantastic always to be able to highlight these kids and the coaches. And, obviously we concentrate on basketball and football, but be able to do the other sports
That's
and
right.
be able to spend some time with these kids is terrific. It's always impressive. And, this is my favorite time of the year.
Oh, yeah. I
Too,
can't
man.
wait.
This is it. This
I
is what
can't
it's all
wait.
about.
That's right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great season. We've had great, obviously, sponsors
Yes.
that stepped up and quite the demand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That's right.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
I
agree.
Say, so.
And we can't overstate it enough how fortunate we are to have sponsors, because without the great sponsors that we have, we would not have the opportunity to highlight these student athletes and coaches like we do. And it does give so much more opportunity to put that out there and let folks just to see how great they are. And folks, again, we're so thankful for you. We're so thankful for our sponsors, so thankful for our student athletes and coaches. And with that, Caleb Gresham, Jeff Jacobs, we're here at Countryside BP Studio on Golden Lion Sports Network as we will be in action officially Friday night.
Let's go.
6 o'clock tip-off. 6 o'clock kickoff.
It won't be the last time you
It
say
won't be
that.
the last time I say that. 6 o'clock kickoff. Do we know what time we'll be taking the air there, boss?
What do you say about 5? I think about 5:30.
Yeah,
sounds perfect.
That sounds good.
Like
So
that.
we'll
We've
be
got lots to talk
we'll be
about.
on the air. I got a lot to say about I've been studying up on football, throughout the year. But with that, we will say see you later, and we will talk to you Friday night. God bless and take care of each other.